Hey everybody, Terry White here, and it's my pleasure to walk you through a question I get a lot is, how do I use the new Adobe Express on mobile? Now I did a video just like this, 10 things beginners want to know how to use in the new Adobe Express for the web, but at the time the mobile app wasn't out yet, at least the new one. So now we're going to talk about the new one, and again, many of those same 10 things people want to know how to do. And let me give you a little bit of history, like just a few seconds if you bear with me, of where we're coming from so you understand who you might be in this scenario and why this is important depending on where you're coming from. So if you look at my phone right now, you'll see that there is 3 apps in a row in the middle there. There's Adobe Express at the top, there's Spark Page below that, and then there's Spark Video below that. Well, wait, Spark and Express, what's this? Well, there used to be something called Spark Post, and that was replaced by an app, just in branding mostly, called Adobe Express. Now, so if you go back in time to the very beginning, Spark Post was for your social post, for creating content that you wanted to share on social media or print or whatever. Spark Page was for creating those long one-off web pages for an event or to tell a story or to do a recap or to do a behind the scenes or a trip report. So that's Spark Page. I love it for that kind of stuff. And then Spark Video wasn't really a traditional video editor. It was more about creating info type videos where you're talking over a slide. So you're doing voiceovers. And so what the Adobe team wanted to do was, first of all, rebrand it. So they called it Adobe Express. That became the former Spark Post. And then ultimately they wanted to combine all 3 of these functions into one app. And that's where we are today. So if you think about the transition, we went from Spark Post being a mobile-only app to Express, really the same app, new branding, to a brand new web interface called Adobe Express, or the new Adobe Express in beta. Then it came out of release. And of course, the problem was the new interface, the new web interface, didn't talk to the old app, Spark or Express. So if you went to the web, you didn't really have a mobile solution. And if you stayed on the old one, you didn't have any of the new features. So that's kind of the mismatch that we were in. And so the team was working hard to get the mobile app out, and they did. It's available today on iOS and Android. There's still some phones we're working on getting it compatible with. We're still trying to get the tablet version out as of this recording. But right now it's available on your phone. And it now talks to the new web interface. So yay, if you were on a new web interface, you now have a mobile app, you're happy. But if you came from Spark to Express and you never went to the new Adobe Express on the web and you went straight to the new one on the phone, you're probably confused. You're probably like, whoa, this is completely different. Where's all my stuff? How did I do the things I used to do? That's what this video is about. So you'll not only learn how to do the things you used to do, you'll learn how to do a whole bunch of things you couldn't do before. And that's the whole point of this new app. So there will be a growing pain, at least some transition for you learning and converting all your stuff over and so forth and so on, which I'm not going to get into all that because technically that should have happened already if you're watching this. But when you first launch the new app, just so you know, there'll be a big blue banner at the top. And it'll say, you can keep using the old one, you can revert back to the old version, or you can transfer all your content into the new one, and it's a one-way transfer. So once you say yes, transfer, you're in the new Express from now on. You say, nope, I don't want any of this, I want to go back to the way I was doing things, you can go back to the way you were doing things for what I can see as long as you want. All right, but if you made that transition, you're with me now, and we're in the new Express. Let's jump into those 10 things. So the first thing right off the bat is we're going to jump into the new interface, number 1. So if I tap on Adobe Express, and normally it starts off here with For You, you'll notice that, and there it is on my computer. It looks pretty much the same. You have the different orientations of things, like instead of buttons down the left side on the web browser, you have them down here at the bottom, but there is pretty much the same kind of layout. And then you start to see the things you can do. So at the very top, you can search for a template you're looking for, or you can do, hey, I want to create something for social media. I want to create something for video. I want to create something for photo. I want to create a document or marketing. And in each one of those categories, you will see templates, you will usually see quick actions, and you may see more depending on what it is you're trying to create. So that's what this is starting off as, basically asking you, what kinds of things do you want to do? Let me scroll back down, there we go. And the for you is kind of like a mixture of things. So also brand new in Express is you have generative AI capabilities. So you have text to image, remove objects from a photo, insert objects into a photo using the power of Firefly, generating a template from scratch using a text prompt. So all of these are Firefly powered, and you have the ability even to caption a video where it puts the words that you said on top of the video for you. So all of this is great. But we won't get into all of this today, but just let you know that that's what those things are. Now, for those of you coming from Express or Spark Post, you typically just want to create a post. So you want to create it in a specific size, and you probably want to use a template. And that stuff's still here. And again, you can search for what you want. If you know you want to do social media and you know you want to do an Instagram Square post, there's your Instagram Square post ready to go. So the interface is the same. Now I can back out of this and go home, and everything you do is saved. Now at the very bottom are elements that would normally be on the left-hand side on the web page. So home takes me back to the screen. Your stuff is all the stuff we created so far. Some of this you'll see me create today. Brands we won't get into today, but brands is basically a way for you to create your own brand so that you have all your logos, your templates, your fonts, your colors, all ready to use, your videos all ready to use over and over again so you can stay on brand. And then explore is kind of like just showing you everything, all the different ways you can explore. You can pick backgrounds, you can pick text layouts, pick design assets, so forth and so on. And then last but not least is a menu. Right now it only has a couple things, including learn content, so you can learn more, and the new scheduler, which we'll get into as one of the things. I think it's number 10. All right, so let's go back home. That is number 1, the new interface. So completely different, I get that, but easily enough to learn. Now let's get into number 2, starting with a template. So let's go into social media. And let's say that I do want to do that Instagram Square post, but oh no, I don't want a blank page. I want to start with a template. So I hit the plus sign, and this is an interface thing I'm going to be repeating over and over again throughout the video because I want you to really get it. You'll see when I hit the plus sign, well, maybe you want to start with a photo. These are Adobe stock photos. Videos, these are Adobe stock videos. Audio, Adobe stock audio. Or upload your own. So you can hit the plus sign and upload your own. I'm sorry, the up sign and upload your own. But I want to start with a template. Template is a button down at the bottom. So I see search, your stuff, templates, media, which is what we're on, text, and elements. So if I go to templates, great, I see what I want. I see templates now and I can search for the one I want. Elements, is that it? Are those the only 6 things? Here's the thing I'm going to be saying over and over again. Always, always, always scroll. Because 9 times out of 10, there's more if you scroll over. So, see, elements was the last thing. If I didn't scroll over, I wouldn't know that I could do grids, the old collage feature, and brands is here as well. So if I want to start with my own branded template, I can go to my brand and get it. But just know that whenever you see this bar, don't always believe that that's the only 6 or 7 or however wide your screen is things. You can always scroll and usually get more. So we do want to start with a template. And let's just grab one off the top of my head here. Let's grab Watch Party. All right, and if I like Watch Party, notice it didn't get rid of the templates. It's letting me do Watch Party. If I don't like it, then I can keep going and swap it out for something else. So you don't have to cancel and delete it and start over again. You just tap on the next one and it shows it to you bigger so you can see if that's the one you want. And you just keep going. Of course, we're just in random templates. If I was going to do a barbecue, then that will show me barbecue templates for a square post like this. And then if I see one I like that one, then that's the template I'm going to use now. And once I find the one I want, then I can go ahead and swipe this down and begin the process. So that was number 1, the interface. Number 2, starting with a template. Number 3, now that we have the template, will be replacing text and images and colors and fonts. So In other words, using the template, putting your own content in instead of what came with the template. Now, first and foremost, I start from the top and work down. At the very top, it says club name here. And I guess this was designed if you're going to do a club barbecue. Well, I can go in there, I can double tap, and I can triple tap to get all the text selected. And I can say, this is Terry's Club. And I know I should do an apostrophe, and I know I should do a capital C, but you get the idea. Now, is there a Terry's Club? No. Then why did I type that in? Because it's in the template. The template's not the police. It's not the law. You don't have to abide by the template. If you don't need that text at the top, get rid of it. I don't need a club name at the top of mine. I changed it because it was there and it wasn't the generic one, but I don't need to put anything in there. So I want to delete it. Where's the delete button? I only see edit, effects, font, style, and color. Scroll, delete. So just always remember, scroll right if you don't see what you want. Okay, so now I got rid of the thing I don't need, and now I want to concentrate on the thing that's here. This says birthday party, but party looks kind of weird in that font for me to read, and actually I want to change the name anyway. So instead of party, I want to change it to social. So a barbecue social. Usually it'd be an ice cream social, but you get the idea. So now that it's there and I got it, I can hit done, I can grab it, I can move it around, I can rotate it more, I can scale it. If I grab a corner there, and I can get it just the way I want. And that's cool. But I can also go in and do any of these things. So I can go into the font, for example, and this will show me fonts. And you'll notice that some of the fonts have a little crown next to them. That little crown indicates premium content. If it doesn't have a crown next to it, that means it's free to use by anybody, even the free Express users. So you can use Express for free. You don't have to pay for it. But if you are a paid member, meaning you have an Express plan or a plan that includes Express, like the All Apps plan, then you can use the premium content. So those fonts with the crown, I'm an All Apps user, so I can use any of those fonts. But if you weren't an All Apps user, you could only use the ones without the crown unless you decided to subscribe to Express or a plan that includes Express. So fair enough. If it's free, I can use it and just tap on it. That becomes the one I just chose. I'm just picking different scripts here. If it's a premium one, I can still use it because I'm a paid member. If it's free, I can just use free. It is totally up to you to decide what you want to use. So that's another free one, Alex Brush. And there was another cool font in here, Allura. Yeah, I like Allura. All right, so there we go. So I've changed it to Allura, and I can change it to, I can put effects on it, I can edit what it says, I can change the format, the spacing is only one word, so really not a lot to change there. I can change the size via a slider, which is kind of even easier sometimes than using the handles. But don't pay attention to the point size if you have scaled it as an object. So remember I grabbed the corners first, and now it's telling me it's 129 points. That 129 means nothing right now because I scaled it as an object, so it's proportional to the scale, if that makes sense. So don't get tripped up on the font size if you've scaled it other ways. All right, so that's it. That's changing the font, changing the size, changing, I could change the color. Go here, it's yellow. I actually think yellow is the best color, but let's say I want to change it to that green. Now it's that green. I like yellow better. But anyway, it's that green. All right, so now it's saying it's the 6th of June, 6 to 9 p.m. And now I want to change this to say it is the 7th of, oops, there we go, July. All right, done. So, and I will leave the same time. So you get the idea. You can change the text to whatever you want to say. And this is remember, watch where you're grabbing, because I'm grabbing this grid and moving it around. So I want to use 2 fingers and pinch and zoom. Now let's say I want to swap out this photo. If I have a barbecue photo I want to use, I can use a barbecue photo that I have. But I tapped on that photo, and by the way, sometimes things are grouped together. So that's actually grouped together with that other circle. So just be mindful of what you're tapping on. It's even got the little group icon up there. If I tap again, now I'm down to the actual graphic. So when I get to the graphic, I'm scrolling over because there's a replace icon. When I tap replace, this is giving me the two choices. If I want to upload my own barbecue photo, great, hit upload. Go to your camera roll, get your barbecue photo, and upload it. If I don't have a barbecue photo to use, then I typed in BBQ earlier, and now it's showing me barbecue photos that are free to use in Adobe Stock. So same thing, if it has a crown, that means it's premium. If it doesn't have a crown, let's find one that doesn't have a crown for everybody else, then I can use, actually the exact same one. All right, let's use a different one. Notice the little peppers or whatever they were. Here's one on the grill. So let's use that one. And I don't know what happened to it. Let's see. Oh, there's a yellow box in the way for some reason. That's weird. Delete that. Try it again. Oh, I might not have had the actual photo selected. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, that's the actual photo. There we go. All right, so let's try that again. So that could trip you up, and I'm glad it tripped me up in front of you so you can see how I dealt with it. And I don't know which one I chose, but we'll choose one of the free ones. We'll use that one. There we go. And that one came in, and now it's in the crop. It's in the circle. I can double tap on it and move it around in the crop. So that way I can get it where I want to be able to see more of it. All right. Oh, and we're missing some of the bottom of it because we pulled it up. Or we can also scale it. Or scale the circle. We want to scale the photo. There we go. Make the photo bigger. Bring the photo down. Move the photo over. Boom. All right, so that was it. I just replaced the photo. Now, last but not least, what if I want to add my own photo? We talked about fixing and replacing things that are already here. But what if I want to add my own photo now? So I'll go into the plus sign. And here, let me back up. One more confusing thing. Notice I don't have that plus sign right now. I don't have the plus sign right now because something's selected. So I had a guy tell me, hey, all I want to do is put in a photo and put some text on it. I don't see the plus sign to add text. Most likely because he still had the photo selected. You got to make sure that either A, you X out of that so it's not selected anymore, or just tap on the blank page so that the photo's not selected so you can get the plus sign and add your next thing. Because otherwise it's saying you're still dealing with the thing you have selected. All right, so now I want to add my own photo. So I don't see a photo button, Terry. Where's photo? Well, remember, this is new. So it can do more than just photos. It can do photos, videos, and audio. So there's no photo, video, audio button. It's just called media. So if I hit media, then I can upload my own photo from my own library. Here, I'll just do one of me here on stage. And I add that in, and there's my photo as a floating object, as a floating layer. I can scale it down. I can put it over here in the corner, down below, and it's weird because it's blocking the text. So if I wanted to bring this in transparently back in the Spark day, I'd have to go to Photoshop and make it transparent. But now there's a Remove Background button right here in Express. So I just hit Remove Background. We give it a second to do that, and there I am. No background. I can make me whatever size I need to be. I can even rotate me a little to tilt me up. And I can also, notice I'm still in front of the text. Well, I can tap on that text and I can scroll over and I still don't see what I want. Oh, more. Scroll over. Oh, order. Move to the front. Put the text in front of me. There we are. Still hard to read because I need to move over a little bit more. There we go. But now the text is in front of me. So you get the idea. You can go in and add, change, replace text, images, colors, and fonts. And we did them all. All right, next up, let's go to number 4. Number 4 is starting with your own custom asset or custom size. So if we go in, let's get out of this. By the way, everything's automatically saved. So just be going home, automatically save that to your stuff. So it's figuring out the thumbnail for it right here, but that was the project we just worked on. There it is. So just remember, there's no save button. It'll save for you automatically as you go. All right, so now I want to start with my own. I don't want to use a template. I don't want to use a preset size. I have a photo. I just want to put some text on it. Can I do that? Sure. hit the plus sign, and upload media. Now, I just want to say that if you can create a size here, and you can go to custom size. So if you say, Terry, my thing has to be exactly 1080 by 1270 for whatever reason, you could type in that size and get that exact size canvas. Or you can go to the plus sign or go here where it says start with your own photos and camera from Camera Roll. And I can go grab this photo of me standing in front of the Television Academy background, and boom, that comes in. Did I do it? Did I do it? There you go. Choosing this photo of me in front of the Television Academy, and there we go. Boom, that comes in with the photo, and it made the canvas the exact size of that photo. So whatever size that photo is, that's my new custom size, and starting with my asset. So if that's what I want, I'm sure that's a 3:4 aspect ratio. So it's whatever size it is, and that's whatever size it's going to be. Now we're going to get into resizing later, but now at this point, the person said, hey, if I want to now add text to this, how do I do it? Well, keep in mind, if the photo is still selected, you don't see anything that says text, but you get out of the photo. Now you have the plus sign, now you have text, and now they're like, but wait, I don't want any of this stuff. I don't want it all pre-formatted like this. Can't I just add simple text like I used to? And I apologize for this button not being clearer, but this blue button right here is for generic text. If you don't want any of these, don't tap on any of those, because one of those will just drop that right onto the canvas. So hit the blue plus sign instead, and that will give you that generic text you've been wanting. So this is, I'm going to just put in Happy Monday. It's not Monday, but everyone wants a Happy Monday. Now, of course, it defaulted to whatever font that is, and it defaulted to black text, and it's on top, and there it is. So now that it's selected, I can go in and make it whatever color I want. Make it white, easier to see. I can, let's say I want it, here, let's go back. Let's say I want it to be 2 lines now. Now notice there's a dot in each corner, a little handle. That's for changing the size. But then you see the little bar on the left and right side. That's for controlling the width. So if I want it to be really skinny, I can make the width, so therefore it fits onto 2 lines. Now, I don't like that it's centered. Well, keep in mind, it's an object. Hey, I don't see centering at the bottom. Scroll over, format, and align left. And of course, scroll over, align right, bullet points, numbers, all that stuff's there. Just got to scroll for it. So we make you scroll for it. Hey, I don't like the spacing between the lines. There's spacing, and adjust your line spacing. And again, so many things that are much easier to do here in the new Express that either you couldn't do in the old one or certainly weren't as easy. And if you want an effect, you have layout. So I love the dynamic effect because it makes everything the same size. So even if there are not as many letters or too many letters, it'll just make everything smaller to fit. So Happy and Monday take up the same amount of space, I should say. And then if I want to scale it down, I'll grab a corner. And by the way, if you make something too small, you notice you get the little plus sign to be able to move it around. Once it's big enough to where you don't need the plus sign anymore, so move that up, then you just grab the middle of it and move it around. So there's no plus sign. So just want to point that out. All right, so for my friend that just wanted to be able to put a photo into the new Express on the phone and put text over it and format the text, we just did it. All right, and now if you wanted to download this, because I'm going to jump ahead, even though we're going to do a whole thing on exporting and sharing and all that, that's the down button at the very top, the down arrow. I download it as a graphic, as a JPEG or a PNG file, downloads it, puts it on my camera roll, then I can do whatever I want with it after that. All right, so that was number 4, starting with your own asset, custom size, so forth and so on. Now let's get into number 5, selecting and grouping and all that, because that could be a challenge. I'm going to get out of this and get to something a little bit more complex, meaning something with a few more objects in it. Let's go to this one. So I just grabbed a random template. And this random template has all kinds of things in it. It has a photo, I see another photo in the background there. It has multiple photos for whatever reason. I don't know why the other photo's in the background because you couldn't see it. Anyway, I think that's an accident by the template maker. All right, so now we move that over. So I have a photo, I have some flowers, I have a butterfly, I have some stars, I have some text, I have some other text. Now these are all individual elements. Great. They can be repositioned, moved around, resized, changed, change the font, change what it says, delete it. But you notice that this one has a different icon. It has that little group icon because these two flowers are grouped together, or if it's more than two. Oh, I clicked too many times. Click, and then, or I'm sorry, tap, and then tap again, lets you get to the other element. You can still move the element around, even though it's still grouped. Oh, I'm not trying to insert. Here we go. Tap, move that element around. Still grouped. Tap, move that element around. So now I've just basically changed the items in the group, even though they're still grouped together. So you can you can select multiple elements together, you can group them, and even if they're still grouped, you can still make changes. So let's say, for example, I want it colorful and looks to always stay together like that. So just the way I spaced them apart. Well, I can go in, scroll. I'm always going to say scroll. And then I go to more, scroll, and I'm going to say multiple select. When I say multiple select, it's now waiting for me to select all the things I want. So the first thing's already selected. Now I'm going to tap on the second thing, and now they're still selected. I can do whatever I want while they're selected, but I want to keep it together as a group. So now they're grouped together, and now I can, whenever I move them around, they move as one. Whenever I scale them, they scale as one, and that is how a group is made as a group. But if I want to change colorful to something else, like, I'll make up a word, flowerful. Oh, that word became too big to fit. Flowerful. Flowerful. There we go. And we'll just space that out so it fits. There we go. And now that is still grouped together, even though I changed colorful to flowerful. So that is working with selecting multiple objects, moving them around, scaling them, whether they're grouped or not. If it is a group, because a lot of templates like this one will have groups in it, so you can go in and select the individual items and move them around or scale them or do whatever you want and edit them while it's still a group. And if you want to select multiple objects, you can select multiple objects and create your own groups. So that was number 5, selecting and grouping. Now let's go to number 6. My favorite, resizing. Because a lot of times you're going to want to repurpose the thing you made onto multiple platforms. So number 6 is all about resizing your content for the platform you want it to go out on. So for example, let's keep using this one. So we have this template, which is set up as an Instagram story. So it's a vertical format, and I now want it to be a wide format for Facebook, maybe a square format for Facebook, and a wide format for my YouTube thumbnail. 3 totally different sizes. Well, let's get out of the selections here. And you'll notice that there's a more menu when I don't have anything selected. And that more menu has resize. That, by the way, the resize is also under this 3-dot menu at the top. So it's up here too. And also changing the name of your template. So you can, instead of having a bunch of untitled items by date, you can, I'm always hitting delete by mistake, flowerful. So you can change the name to whatever you want it to be. So that way, when you see it, especially on the web where it's a bigger screen, you'll see what each one's name, so you don't have to worry about what was that one for. You can name them. All right, back to resize. So the resize is at the top menu. It's also at this lower more menu. So we'll go to more. We'll hit resize. First and foremost, people always ask, can you create a custom size? Yes, you can. Type in whatever dimensions you want. You need a 1280 by 1920, which is a weird size. You can type in that size and get exactly what you want. But you'll notice that below the custom sizes, I have the ability to choose popular recommended sizes for social media, and then sizes by platform. So I said I wanted to do a Facebook post, which is square, and I also wanted to do a YouTube thumbnail. So I'm going to keep the Instagram story that I already have, and I want to create those other two sizes. Facebook post square, YouTube thumbnail, which is wide, 1280 by 720. So I'm going from vertical to square to wide. Now, if I had only chosen one, then it would give me the option to either duplicate the page or resize it. So resize means it's going to take my Instagram story and resize it to the one I chose. But because I chose two or more, 3, 5, 6, 7, 10, whatever, how many you choose, now I get the option to duplicate and resize. And as soon as I hit duplicate and resize, it does just that. So there is my Instagram story is page 1, my YouTube thumbnail is page 2, my Facebook square post is page 3. So Express has multiple pages, something the old app I don't believe had. And even if it did, it wasn't this cool for resizing. So once I decide so we already know the story's fine. If I want now, hey, you got all this extra room in this YouTube thumbnail, what do you want to do? Well, maybe I want to take her and make her bigger. There we go. Maybe I want to take my group and put it over here and make it bigger. If I can grab it, there we go, and move it down. So that's my new YouTube thumbnail. If I want to swipe over to the next page, which is my my Facebook square post, I move that over, maybe move that over, maybe take my flowers and move those over, or maybe move them over her a little bit, maybe make this bigger, and choose and make whatever changes I want to make. So you get the idea. They can all be the same, or they can all be different. And it resized the background to fit all three sizes. I just swiped over, which added a new page by default. But anyway, you get the idea. That is resized. And now if you want to share those out or just download all the different sizes to your phone to do whatever you want to do with, again, the download button is the downward facing arrow. I can select the single page that I'm on or all the pages. If I select all 4 pages, which 4 is blank, but if I select all 4 pages, then it will let's get, I don't want a blank page. Let's delete this page. Delete page. There we go. So now if I download, I should get 3 pages, all pages, 3 pages, and download them in whatever format I want, and they will put all 3 pages on my camera roll, ready for me to do whatever I want to do with them. Share them, text them, whatever it is I want to do. All right, now again, there's more we're going to get into at the end for really getting stuff out, but there it is. So now, that was number 6. Let's go to number 7. Number 7 is how to use generative AI, Firefly powered text to image and more. All right, so let's jump out of this. Again, it saved it. And now you'll notice at the very top, I have text to image, and I'm on my For You. I have text to image, remove objects. So remove objects, you're going to take your own photo and remove stuff from it. Insert objects, you're going to take your own photo and insert objects into it. Text to template means, hey, it's going to make a template for you based on what you describe. Text effects is you want it to generate a word that's formatted. Maybe you want the word to look like it's flowers, or you want the word to look like it's liquid gold. And you're basically going to describe how you want the text to look. But then you're going to type the text to say what you wanted to say. So let's go to text to image. When I go to text to image, it's asking me, hey, what do you want to create? I want to create a, let's do a dog catching a ball. I like catching a fish. That could be interesting. Catching a ball in the park. And you can say on a summer day and all that. You can be as descriptive as you want. So now that is generating that ask, that request. So it's going to the servers, pulling down, or generating, I shouldn't say pulling down, pulling the generated image down. The 4 results I got here of a dog playing in a park, catching a ball. And whichever one I like best, if I like any of those, I can choose that one. Or I could say, nope, I want load more. I want to see 4 new ones. Keep the 4 I already had, but show me 4 new ones because I don't like any of those. And this isn't stock photography. It's generating pixels for new images that don't exist. So you're likely not to have the exact same image as someone else. That looks like a kind of a strange looking dog there, but we'll go with that one. No. Let's see this one. Okay, let's go with this one. All right, so then that gives me my image, and I can go back to text effects if I want to change more of it. So I made it, did auto. Let's say I want to do art. I want to do something artistic as opposed to a photographic image. So just to show you the difference. So these are like drawings. These are like paintings. These are art of a dog catching a ball. So depending on the intent that you want, you can also have it generate those as well. Cool. So you can, I did it from scratch. You can also, in an existing file, you can also hit the plus sign and generate. So if you're working, for example, let's go back. Let's go to your stuff. And let's go here. Now we're already in this. So if I hit the plus sign and I hit generate and I say, yep, make it a square, I'm now generating something to go on top of this. So I can say hummingbird. Hummingbird in flight. And I'll hit generate. Cool, cool, cool. So that will give me my 4 hummingbirds. I like this one. Tap, and that's my hummingbird added to this image. Now keep in mind, we still have that same remove background capability if you want. So if you want to hit remove background, see how it does, you'd have the remove background, and now you have a hummingbird that is literally floating in air, midair. Make it as big or as small as you want, duplicate it, and again, swipe over if you want to transform it and do other things. So you can say, hey, I want to flip that over the other way because I want to put it on the other side. And now we have it on this side. There we go. So that is text to image. Last but not least, because I think it's pretty cool that you could do this on mobile. This was a last minute ad that the team did right when the mobile app came out. It wasn't in the beta. Let's go to text to template. So let's say I'm looking for a template and I just can't find one, and I want to do birthday. I can't find one that I like. Let's do birthday. Birthday party for Pam, my sister, on June 15th. All right, and then it asks me what kind of post do I want. Instagram square post, I want a flyer. There we go. And you can even add photos from the camera roll, optional if you want to add into it, but we're gonna just have it generate. So now instead of it making an image or text, it is generating a usable, editable template that you can customize. So again, if you don't like the way it generated every single item on it, replace those items with whatever you want. Change what it says. Change what you want. Add more to it. Add your own photo of Pam or whoever. You can do everything you want to it after it generates the template. So we'll give it a second to do that. And here they are. So the first 4 results of Pam's party. And notice it's got the stock logo here. So these are some stock templates. There are some stock elements in the template. So that's why they have the premium logo. Here's one that's not stock. So it doesn't have the premium logo. And again, I could generate more results. But I'm going to just say, for the sake of time, grab this one. Now it's loading that template in. And look at what it did. Pam's party, a birthday image, June 15th. Join us for on June 15th for Pam's birthday bash. More details, visit, blah, blah, blah. So you customize and add the things in you want. Change whatever you don't want. That's not a picture of Pam or anyone we know. So change that photo to one of whoever you want. And that's your template. That's your flyer. So that's using Firefly. Now we didn't do text effects. We didn't do all the things it can do, but just giving you a little taste of what Firefly can do in the palm of your hand now on your phone. Okay, so that was number 7. Number 8. We're going to do how to animate, and then that will lead us right into number 9, which is how to work with videos. Okay, so let's go back. I keep wanting to use the same one because it's got so many cool elements in it. Let's go back to this one. And this one's already vertical. So let's say we want to animate this into a video. Now, again, number 9 is how to edit video. So let's stick with number 8 for a second. Let's say you don't have a video. You just want to take the elements on the page and make it into a reel. Make it into a video. Keep in mind, the social platforms favor video. So the more video you create, the more your stuff's going to be seen. So even if you don't have video, you have a still static image like this, turn it into a video with animation. So for example, let's say I want to start with the word flowerful or the flowerful looks, because remember that's a group. If I see animation over here on the left, so I just tap animation and I get 3 choices. You can use either one of the 3 or all 3 or any combination. So if I say in, that's how it's going to come into the scene. So I can have it bungee, drift, or scroll. That's right, always scroll. I can have it slide in, I can have it spin in, I can have it tumble in. So what's the difference between spin? That's spin. What's tumble? Tumble kind of bounces in. I kind of like that, but maybe not for this. Let's say rise. Yeah, I like rise. Okay, so now we got rise. Now we select our photo. Just get to the photo there. And I don't see animate. Scroll. The minute I added animation, by the way, notice it created a timeline. But we'll do animation, and we'll say animate in, and we will say that this one is going to fade in. Okay, so now if we were to say yes to that, so far our video looks like this. Cool. All right, so now let's say we have the hummingbird here, and we're going to animate the hummingbird, and we're going to have the hummingbird animate, and it's going to drift in. But we want to drift in from the other direction. So just tap drift again, and you get all the controls. All right, and now that it's drifted in, I want to go back to animation, and while it's there, I want to have it do something. I want to have it bob. So kind of like it's flying, or flicker. Nope, I don't want flicker. I don't want jitter. Jitter actually could be cool for a hummingbird. Okay, so now we have it jittering, and looping means it just will keep doing that the entire length of the video. So see, it's still jittering even though the other stuff's finished. And right now the default for this is 5 seconds. You can go in, you can say make it longer, make it shorter, make it as long as you want it to be, and that will become your video. Now, the only problem though I don't like is everything happens at once. So the bird comes in, she fades in, flowerful looks comes in all at once. So if you tap the stopwatch, that will now give you control over each element. So if I tap flowerful looks and I say push it back, move the beginning of it back a little bit, that says don't start it right away. So see it comes in later. If I tap her and I say bring her in, and I can even bring her in after the flowerful looks come in, same thing for the hummingbird, bring the hummingbird in after she's in. So now the 3 things will come in separately. 1, 2, 3. And if you want to change any of them, so for example, flowerful doesn't start soon enough, then pull it back over. All right, so that is how to create an animated video just by animating elements already on your page. You can animate anything you can bring in. So again, go back to the old app. The old app could only animate one thing, text or video, and only one of them. If you said animate flowerful looks, that's it. That's the only thing you can animate, nothing else. If you said animate the picture of the girl, that's it. Nope, nothing else. You couldn't animate anything else. So now you can animate everything, or anything, and loop it, or have it animate out when it's done. You can do all of those things, and of course, now that it's been animated, at least with one thing, when I say download, I now get the choice to download this as a video. Video is the default. So if I download this, it will be its original size, 1080p, and that will download, of course, it's vertical. That will download as a vertical video, suitable for TikTok and Reels. Now, wait, can you do, before we do more, Let's jump to to number 9, which is how to edit video. But I know what you're thinking. Can I add audio? Can I add voiceover? Yes, you can add all those things. But anyway, that's your timeline. And of course, that's only for that page. This page doesn't have one. So this is a static image. This page is a video. So multiple pages can be multiple things at the same time. All right, so next, last but not least, number 9, before we get to how to output all this, is how to create a video, how to work with video. So let's say I go to the video tab, and I want to create an Instagram reel or a TikTok video. They're the same thing. And now I want to add actual video. So I hit the plus sign. I can add videos from stock. If you don't have one, you can search for one. But I have my own video. Most of you will have your own video. So I can go to my photo library on my phone, and here's a video. Let's say we want to add that one. When I add that video in, it's downloading it from the cloud, now adding it in, processing the video, and there it is. We'll hit play, and there she is. She's just swinging a bag. This was a stock video, by the way. And then she walks off, and then she walks on, and she's swinging a bag again. She got 2 bags now. So that's the video. Now, at this point, you have a video, you just haven't edited it. So what can I do? Can I speed it up? Yep, because people want to speed it up. You want to make it faster or slower. I can't remember which one's which. That was slower. Or faster, I can't remember. Let's see. All right, go back. There we go. Go back to speed. Let's make it this way. 50%. Yeah, that's slower. Okay, so to the right is faster, to the left is slower. I could never remember that. All right, anyway, let's go back to the beginning. 100% plays at normal speed. We want to trim it. Or maybe I want to cut it. Maybe I want to say where she walks off, I want to cut it right there. So I just select the video and so I just select the video in the timeline and split. And that will be the split. Hold on, I might not have split it where I want it to. Let's go back. Let's move the timeline to where we want to split it. So right when she walks off, I want to split it right there. So tap, hit split, and now that's been converted into 2 scenes. So if you notice on the right-hand side, there's a plus sign. The way Express works is with scenes. So now the second scene can be trimmed. It can be deleted. It can be replaced. You can add things to any scene. So now it plays like this. So it kind of jumps in. So if I don't want that jump, notice there's a plus sign in between the scenes. I can hit the plus sign and add a transition. And I can say that, hey, I want to hit a dissolve. So it just dissolves between the 2. So now we hit play, and instead of it abruptly jumping, it just dissolved. And if I want to add anything to a scene, just tap on that scene. Actually, don't tap on the scene, just go to the scene, I should say, and then hit the plus sign. So you want to add text to a scene, you can. And we'll just add one of the default ones here, new post, which of course is not a post, it's a new, let's make it a new bag, because she's got bags. All right, so she's got a new bag. And again, we can move that we can move that wherever we want. It's multiple objects, there we go. Move that wherever we want. And now that becomes a static element, a static text element in the second scene, because that's where I added it. So then it pops up, new bag, and there it is. So can I animate new bag? Sure. Select new bag, animation, animate in, drift in. And you can control how long it takes things to happen, or the speed, or the direction, or any of those things by tapping the same animation again. So now if we were to play it, transition, and then it plays. And that's it. So now, the question I normally get, but Terry, that's cool if you're adding your own videos. Can you add another video? you only added one, you cut it up. What if you, video editing is all about adding multiple clips. Hit the plus sign, add another scene, and then add another video. Media, upload, photo and video, photo library, and now add the second one. There we go. So now it jumps from that video, new post, new bag, to that video. And can I rearrange them? Sure. Just drag them in the order you want. So now it goes from that, transitions to that. Plays way too long for this, so let's trim it down to where she just tilts her glasses down right there. And now we're editing video, even if you've never edited video before. Transition, tilts down, transition, new bag with text, animations, so forth and so on. So you can add multiple clips, you can clip them, you can trim them, you can, or when I clip, I mean cut them, you can trim them, you can rearrange the order, you can add text, add photos, add other elements, you can add generations, you can add anything else you add to normal post, you can add to your video. And last but not least, the question I always get, what about audio? Well, at plus, I tap the audio tab. You have three choices. Use stock audio. If you want music behind your clip, you can use the stock here. I'm going to even say find something fashionable. Fashion, upbeat, fashion, beauty. I know it's sad that you can't hear these, but you hear them on your phone. Let's say I want that one because I can't hear it anyway. And it will go ahead and add it, and it will be to the size of the size of the edit, I should say. That's what I was trying to say. And I can tap on it, and I can adjust the volume of it. So if it's too loud, or I want to mute part of it, or whatever, I trim it, or not trim it, but split it. That's the word I'm looking for. And maybe I want to lower the volume of the second half. But anyway, if you want to also add your own voiceover, so you hit add voiceover, and that's going to enable your microphone on your phone. You can talk over your video and add that as well. So you have the ability. Now, I want to point out, it's pretty cool, because if you did talk, if you have words in your video, when you download your video, which I can download it and download it to my device, then you can go back. Let's get out of this. Then you can go back to the quick actions for video, and there's one called caption video. And when you tap caption video, you can upload that video, any video, not one that you necessarily edited with Express, but any video, and it will add the visible captions, which you can format the text the way it looks, make corrections, whatever. It will interpret what you said in your video and give you the text over your video, so that people that are watching your TikTok, your Reel, your whatever, if they don't have their volume turned on, they can still read what you said. So that's pretty cool. You can't type what you want to say, but you can. It will automatically convert your spoken text into a caption. So that's a quick look at editing video. I'm going to do one more. Let's do video one more time. This time we're going to use a template, and we're going to go to a fashion template. Oh, hang on. Nope, I don't want to do it. No. Cancel. All right, let's do one more thing. Let's go to video. Let's go to Instagram Reel. And let's go in and add a template to it. Now, because before we did a template, we animated it. We did a video just putting our own clips and stuff in it. But sometimes you might not feel like you're very design oriented, and you want to make a video that looks good with text and all kinds of stuff on it already. So we'll go ahead and hit the plus sign, and we'll go to templates, and we'll type in fashion and let it find us some fashion templates for our video. And here's one already. I'll just use the first one, and that will bring it in. Cool. Now we'll swipe down out of this. There we go. And if we hit play, it's got that text and that video already ready to go. But of course, you probably want your own clip in here. So we'll go ahead and tap. and we'll scroll and we'll hit replace and we'll upload from my phone. We'll grab photo library and we'll grab our third clip that we haven't seen yet, and we'll just go ahead and bring that one in. So it replaced the video that was there, processing right now, with my video. And there she is. So she's walking in front or behind the summer sale. Now, again, same thing, this wild style, change it to whatever you want it to say, or better yet, you don't need it, delete it. But I want to have some fun with this. I want to take the summer sale and move it over here. I want to take this and move it down here. I'm making room. I want to take her and put her up here. Make her bigger. Like that. Kind of maybe something like this. But I don't want her to have that background. That's right. Remove background on video. Tap remove background. Now, what it's having to do is it's having to figure out for 30 frames a second how to remove the background on every single frame. So it's going to take a little longer than it would take on a still frame, which is usually a few seconds, because it has to figure out for every frame in the video, remove background, remove background, remove background, remove background. The longer the video, the longer it's going to take. So we'll just give it a minute to finish this, and before I can say that, it's done. All right, so now if we were to hit play, there she is walking on nothing. Oh, it finished. There she is walking on air in front of our summer sale. Now we can have a little fun with this. We can select her, and we know that if we scroll over and we hit more and we scroll over, we can hit order and we can move to the front. And now we get this cool effect of the person walking in front of the text that is behind her. And of course, we can change the background color. If we don't want the white, we can now have a nice pastel color. And away we go with our edited video that we can now add also some media, some audio, some fashion upbeat, and now we have audio behind our video that's already trimmed to the right length that it needs to be. So that is editing video with the new Express. Now, let's say we want to do number 10. That's it. We're at the end. We already saw downloading a few times. I showed you how to download by hitting the down arrow. But what if we want to share this out directly? We can do this a couple of ways. Hit the paper airplane icon, which is next to the down arrow, and this will let me share it directly to the platforms I've authorized. So it lets me share it currently to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, X, Pinterest, LinkedIn, or TikTok, or in all combinations of them. That's if I want to go out right now. So if I want to send this right now as a TikTok video, boom, hit TikTok, and away I go, as long as I've signed in already. But my favorite is schedule, because what schedule lets me do is it's generating a preview of that. Now, that preview will get better in a second. But what this lets me do is it says, hey, you want to send this out to your channels right now or later? Send this out to TikTok and send this out as Instagram. There we go. If I can hit the X, there we go. Send this out to TikTok, send it out to Instagram. And on Instagram, I want it to be a reel. And then TikTok, I can have some options there. And I can also generate my caption that I wanted to say. So let's say I wanted to say, join us for our fashion or annual fashion event. The most boring title ever. And typically, unless you're a writer or copy editor, you might not be generating the best title for social or the best caption for social. Well, luckily, there's a beta of an AI generation that we can hit generate. And I can say rewrite that boring thing I just typed, hit rewrite, and it'll use AI to take what you wrote and give you something usually much better. Experience the glamour of our annual fashion event. Be part of a trend-setting elite be part of the be part of the trend-setting elite and join us for an unforgettable showcase. Don't miss out on this stylish affair. RSVP now. Stuff I didn't even think to put in. It did for me. Now I can hit insert, and anything you don't want, you can just take out. Like if there's no RSVP now, you can edit that out. You can change whatever you want. But it gave you a much better starting point than just typing your boring caption. All right, so now at this point, I could send it out right now with publish now, but I can also schedule it. I say, hey, schedule that for this Saturday at noon. And away we go at Saturday. Make sure it's PM. And by the way, timing, I was traveling a couple weeks ago, and I was like, well, is it 12 noon Eastern time, which is what I'm normally on, or is it 12 noon where I am right now in London? And it's always your local time. So if you needed to go out on a certain time in a different time zone, you need to do that math in your head. So right now, this is 12 p.m. I'm at home, so 12 p.m. Eastern time. But just remember that whatever time you see there is where your phone is right now. All right, so just remember that when you're scheduling. If I hit schedule, it'll add it to my calendar. Here, we'll hit schedule. Hit schedule, there we go. It'll add it to my calendar, and my calendar, view calendar, we'll now have that ready to go on Saturday. If we go to Saturday, there it is, ready to go. And it's ready to go on both platforms. It's got both captions in. And of course, if you don't want it to go out, you can delete it. Because I don't want that to go out. Because people will be like, what fashion thing? I don't see an RSVP. Where do we do it? Where do we do this? So just remember, if you're doing a test, it will go out if you don't do it and get rid of it. All right, so that's it. Those are 10 quick things. A little in-depth, but quick, that most people want to know how to do. I hope I've given you a foundation now to use the new app and use it with pleasure. Don't be frustrated by it, because in most cases it does way more than the old app does. And in ways that it couldn't do before. Granted, new ways you have to learn, but for the better, because now you get to do all kinds of things you couldn't do before, like scheduling. That's free, by the way. That used to be a paid feature. That is free for everyone. Generations, more stuff to come. iPad version, hopefully coming sooner than later for people that are watching this early on. So cheers. Have fun with the new Express on your phone. More phones coming if your phone's not supported as well. Thanks, everyone. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye, everybody. Go have fun with Express.